His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Qudaibiya Palace today in commemoration of Bahrain Youth Day held annually on March 25th. The cabinet affirmed the country's commitment to supporting the national workforce to continue contributing to the kingdom's comprehensive development, led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. The cabinet then discussed the implementation of His Royal Highness directives on the opening, restoration and development of 32 mosques belonging to the Sunni and Ja'fari Waqf across all governorates and noted the efforts of the relevant authorities. His Royal Highness directed the relevant authorities to carry on with the mosque development plans throughout the year. Then they followed up on the availability of consumer goods in the market and the stability of prices and highlighted legislative efforts to protect competitiveness. The cabinet highlighted the efforts of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the commercial sector to ensure price stability and the abundance of consumer goods during this holy month. The cabinet then followed up on the events and tourism packages that will be announced as part of Manama's selection as the Gulf Tourism Capital for 2024. The cabinet highlighted the importance of tourism and its role as a private priority sector in economic development. And marking the 79th anniversary of the League of Arab States, the cabinet highlighted the prominent role of the League in enhancing cooperation between Arab countries. The cabinet welcomed the adoption of a resolution by the UN General Assembly on measures to combat Islamophobia, affirming the kingdom's firm stance towards international efforts that promote tolerance and dialogue between religions, cultures and civilizations and safeguard global peace. The cabinet discussed and approved several memoranda. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Development and Infrastructure Projects regarding the development of regulatory procedures for infrastructure projects. Another submitted by the Minister of Interior on the achievements of the Information and E-Government Authority for 2023, including in digitization with government e-services, reaching 680 services across all channels. A third memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs on a draft agreement amending the framework agreement to finance the second phase of the project to improve water transmission and distribution from El Dor Station. A fourth memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a draft decision to grant the National Institute for Human Rights observer status in several national committees. A fifth submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs on a draft MOU on the future of transportation between the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications and the Saudi Ministry of Transport and Logistic Services. And the final memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs on the government's response to 3 proposals submitted by the Council of Representatives. The cabinet then took notes on the following ministerial reports. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Legal Affairs on a proposal mechanism for publishing translated legislation on the website of the Legislation on Legal Opinion Authority. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Justice, Islamic Affairs and Waqf on the statistics of the court's performance, implementation and documentation during the year 2022-2023. The cabinet then took note of what was stated in the report submitted by the Minister of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture regarding the 11th edition of the Bahraini Farmers Market for 2023-24 season.